Want to know how to write and publish marketable books? Or maybe you've heard that term, or maybe the other term, write to market, and you're not even sure what that really means, how to do it, or if it's something you really even should do as an indie fiction author. Stay tuned because that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Hey, and welcome back. If you're new to this channel, my name is BRIT, and here we talk all about different ways to help you build a thriving business as a fiction author. So I recently did a poll within my audience asking them what is something that they've been wanting to learn more about and things that they've had a lot of questions around that they really needed some answers for. And there was a lot of different topics thrown around, but the biggest thing that got the most votes were they wanted to know more about writing marketable books and publishing marketable books. So if you are wondering about marketable books as well, how to do it, why you should do it, if it's something that you should be considering, then you're not alone. So first, let's cover the big main question that you're probably having. What is a marketable book, and is it something you should even be thinking about or considering as an author? To put it simply, a marketable book is a book that has been written or published with the intent to make sales off of that book. Now, I know that many of us authors get started because we enjoy the creative side of writing a book, right? We love creating the characters, building the worlds, and all of that jazz. However, when you start to think about building a actual career out of being a fiction author, whether you are going indie or whether you are going traditional even, you need to start kind of thinking about the market and what the readers want from that market. So there are different things that goes into creating a book that you are wanting to actually be profitable. And that is really what people are talking about when they are saying you need to be writing a marketable book. So if you are a hobby author and you do this for fun and enjoyment, then maybe writing a marketable book isn't something that you should really need to be paying too much attention to. However, if you are in this for the long run and you are trying to build a career out of your writing, then paying attention to the market and trying to create the best high quality book that you possibly can for your readers is going to be something to pay attention to and to learn more about. So that's what we're going to be talking about more in this video here. Now, the second most common question that I get when I am talking about marketable books with my clients is, does that mean that I have to write to market? Now, write to market is a term popularized by Chris Fox. He has a book available that you can go read all about his theories on writing to market on Amazon if you want to go check it out. But basically, there is a separation between writing a marketable book and writing to market. You can absolutely do both, but writing to market is not a prerequisite or is not a necessity when it comes to writing a marketable book. You can write a marketable book without actually doing the whole writing to market shebang that you hear a lot of communities of authors out there talking about that you may have heard of. Now, I'm not going to outline his theories here on this video, but just know that there is a distinction between the two, and both are actually really valuable tools for indie authors building a career. However, in order to write a marketable book, you do not have to be writing to market. So if you want to learn more about writing to market, you can definitely go and check out that book by Chris Fox. So how do you write and publish marketable books? There's actually a lot that goes into that. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is briefly giving an overview of some of my biggest tips here and the things that go into writing and publishing a marketable book. A lot of it actually comes down to what I call the book marketing triad. And if you're unfamiliar with what this is and you've never heard me say this before, that means positioning, pitch, and packaging. That is what I refer to as the book marketing triad. So let's dig into that a little bit more. The first one is positioning. And positioning, and when it comes to a product, is how you are offering this book to your audience and how you are positioning that in your messaging. But the thing is, in order to really get positioning done right, you have to do one big thing. You might have guessed it, it's market research. Market research is a really, really essential tool for anyone who's wanting to create a marketable and profitable product. And that's what we're doing as authors, right? We are trying to create a marketable and profitable book to sell underneath our author brand. So if you have heard the term market research and you kind of like scoffed it off, or it seems dreadful to you, I'm sorry to say it is essential. Knowing your market, identifying who they are, what it is that they want, and how you can meet those expectations is extremely important when it comes to writing and publishing a marketable book, right? It is almost impossible to create a satisfying book when you don't know what somebody is looking for or what they want, right? What their desires are. So that is why market research is important. Yes, you absolutely need to do it if you are wanting to write a marketable book. Now, the great thing about market research is that it can actually impact so many different aspects of your book, depending on when you actually did the market research. So if you actually took the time to do market research before you ever even wrote the book, then a lot of what you learn when you do your market research can be implemented into the book itself. Things like, what are the current trends in the genre? What are the different tropes that they enjoy within your audience that you are going to be marketing to? Those different things like that can actually be integrated into your book and help begin to shape it into a marketable book before it's even ever written. But market research doesn't just impact the content of the book, it also impacts, again, the positioning of the book when it comes to marketing it, advertising, and discussing it within your audience. Market research can even help you identify what price point to sell your book at. So it is a very, very important and essential tool when it comes to writing and publishing marketable books. Now, the second part of the book marketing triad is your pitch. Now, when done right, your pitch is actually going to stem from that market research that you did in the first piece of the book marketing triad, which was positioning. So this is when you really get to dive into your unique selling point, or USP, if you are familiar with this marketing term, that really helps identify, yes, this book is hitting these genre expectations and it has a hungry audience, but also here's what makes it unique, but also here's my special spin on that. It also comes down to being able to communicate the value of your book when it comes to marketing and talking to your audience and selling your book. So really being able to find out and dive deep into the minds of your audience and of your readers and communicate with them why they're going to love it and why it's the book for them. And the third piece of that marketing triad that helps you publish marketable books is going to be your packaging. Now, packaging really comes down to a couple of different things. The first one is going to be a good, high quality, marketable cover. It's no secret that when you skimp on your cover, that you are actually doing your book zero favors. The cover is going to be the very first thing that anybody sees when it comes to your book, and that person is going to be immediately making judgments on the contents of that book based on your cover. So the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, doesn't actually apply to books. You want that cover to be great. Aside from the cover, the other big piece when it comes to your packaging is your blurb. The blurb is that little piece about your book that you put on the listings when you are uploading this book to Amazon or any other retailers. It's sometimes found on the back side of your paperback version. And really, this is going to be the prime way that you are going to be selling your book. So you want to be very strategic in the way that you are crafting it, making sure that it's hooky, making sure that you are sending all of those cues to your audience that this is the right book for them, or alternatively that it's not, because of course we also want our blurb to kind of sift through anybody who is not the right fit for your book, because why? Those who aren't the right fit for your book, they're not really going to enjoy it, and that turns into negative reviews. So you want to be able to craft a hook that attracts the right people and gets them interested and tells them, yes, this is what I was looking for. This is what book I'm going to buy right now so I can read in and dig in. You want them to be excited to read your book by reading your blurb. So the cover and the blurb go hand in hand when it comes to packaging, and they are really two different things here that when it comes to selling your books, you do not want to overlook. You want to give a good amount of attention to your packaging if you are wanting to publish a marketable book. So with that said, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you are wondering what a marketable book is, does that mean that I have to write to market? What goes into creating a marketable book? And answer some of those initial nagging questions that you were probably having from hearing that term somewhere else. Now, if you wanted a little bit more guidance on your author journey, and maybe you're just getting started and you are wondering what are the things you should be focusing on and how do I reach the next level in my author journey, you're definitely going to want to go check out my Authorpreneur Stage quiz. You can find that over at thrivingscribes.com/quiz. It'll take you just a few minutes, give you some really important questions so that it can identify what stage of authorship you are at and give you a customized action plan for hitting the next level in your author journey. And after you've taken that quiz, be sure to watch the video that you see on your screen right now, because inside of that video, I actually talk a little bit more on creating a business plan for your entire author journey and what goes into that as an indie fiction author. I will see you next week.